The mRidium 3850 has some advanced features that can be accessed through the menu. When you press the menu button, you'll see that it has some options. The first one is the dose rate calculator. To choose the dose rate calculator, simply press the button next to the option. The first thing you'll do is choose the type of infusion, whether primary, bolus, or secondary, by using the up and down arrow keys. Once you press enter, it will move you to the drug option. Drug question mark allows you to program any drug parameters into the pump. Use the arrow key and you can choose one of the 4 most commonly used medications in the MRI, either adenosine, dobutamine, propofol, or dexmedetomidine. Once you've chosen your drug and you're ready to program, you'll notice that the dose and concentration are preset for you. You may need to adjust your dose by choosing the dose option and using the up and down arrow keys to adjust the dose. Then go to the weight and enter your patient's weight. Press and hold the up and down arrow key to get to the weight you need. And finally, enter the VTBI, the volume to be infused into the pump. Once you've entered that, you'll see that the pump is ready to run. Other options on the menu screen is the alarm volume. Use the up and down arrow keys to change the volume and press enter to save. The KVO rate. This is the rate between 1 and 5 mLs per hour that you can set for the pump to run at KVO. Once the VTBI hits 0, it automatically changes to your preset KVO rate. To change your KVO, simply use the up and down arrow keys and press enter. Occlusion limit. This is the pressure between the pump and the patient. You have your option between 1 and 10 psi. Industry standard is somewhere between 5 and 7 psi. However, if you're infusing a drug such as dobutamine that you do not want to infiltrate, you might want to lower that psi to 2 or 3. Conversely, if you're infusing a drug through a PICC line or something very viscous, you may need to increase that occlusion pressure to 9 or 10 psi. Simply use the up and down arrow keys and press enter to save. Another option that may be enabled on your pump is a key lock. If you press lock keys after your infusion parameters are set and your pump is running, it will lock out the entire keyboard and make an error tone anytime a key is entered. In order to clear the lock, press menu and unlock keys. Your KVO limit and your occlusion pressure do not change or clear unless someone changes them, even though the pump is turned off. The pump runs on battery for about 14 hours at 100 cc's an hour. The pump can also be run off AC power using the charging adapter. The mRidium 3850 has a 1-hour power down memory, which means if the pump is turned off, by pressing and holding the off button, and then turned on again within 1 hour, you'll see a resume therapy screen. And the pump will ask you, is this a new patient or the same patient? If you choose new patient, it will zero out your settings. However, if you choose same patient, your original settings will still be there in the pump waiting for you. This is very convenient if the pump is turned off by accident. The mRidium 3850 also has a 5,000 item history. This history can be downloaded into a computer and tracks all of the keystrokes and alarms for the last 5,000 entries. You may see various alarms while using the 3850. The first one, inlet occlusion, means that there's a problem between the pump and the bag. Make sure all of your clamps are open, then press alarm silence and start to resume your infusion. If you get a patient occlusion alarm, that means that there's a problem between the pump and the patient. Again, make sure all of your clamps are open. Make sure that the tubing is not kinked anywhere and that your patient's IV site is patent. If all the problems are resolved, press alarm silence and start to resume the infusion. Bubble detected alarms can be easily cleared on the mRidium. Press alarm silence, open the door, and after disconnecting from the patient, simply press in on the black slide clamp. This will allow free flow of fluid to push the bubbles down past the bubble detector. Then you can close the door and press start to resume the infusion. The battery will alarm low battery when there is approximately 2 to 3 hours of battery time left. The battery will alarm battery depleted when there's approximately 15 to 20 minutes of battery time left. At that point, the battery needs to be replaced with a freshly charged one or the unit plugged into AC power. This is the mRidium 3855 remote control unit and battery charger. It has the same faceplate, buttons, and alarms and lights as the 3850 base unit. Any commands entered into the remote control will be responded to and displayed on the base unit, and vice versa. If you make changes to the 3850 base unit, you'll be able to see them on the remote control. The remote control operates on a 2.4 gigahertz wireless frequency, which means that you can leave this in the control room while your pump is in the MRI room. It also has an optional battery charger, so if you have an additional battery, it can be charging in the back of the unit while the pump is running.